My name is Becky. My story is about the Bristol Children's Hospital. During the last 3 years, I spent a lot of time going in and out of the Children's Hospital because my son has been ill for a long time. It's a modern building in the centre of Bristol. There are lots of colourful murals, and the voices of Wallace and Gromit speak to you in the lift. People always say, "It's lovely there, isn't it?" I think they don't realise it's the last place on earth you want to be, because it means one of your kids is really ill. That's a place where nobody wants to be. Walking through the doors is like landing on another planet. You feel scared and helpless. Everyone else seems to know the routine and the language. I had to reassure my son that everything was going to be okay, but I didn't know what was wrong. I assumed the doctors would know best and they would know how to help. Now I realise they were often as much in the dark as we were. I know they've been trying to help, but sometimes the tests and the treatment have been brutal. It is so hard to watch them hurting your child, even if it is to try and make them better. I've had to watch people stick needles into my terrified son. I've had to agree to them giving him really powerful drugs with unpleasant and scary side effects. I've had to sign forms to consent to them taking out a significant part of his insides. My son had to endure painful personal examinations by strangers. If anyone else did these things to my child, I'd call the police. At the Children's Hospital, I'm supposed to feel grateful. 3 years later, there have been complications following the treatment. They still don't really know why. My son is in pain day and night. About a year ago, he lost the use of his legs and now he has to use a wheelchair. We all feel frustrated and perplexed, although he is making some progress, mostly through his own determination. I don't expect doctors to have answers to everything, but it's hard to get them to listen or believe you. When they don't know what is wrong, it is an easy option to say nothing is wrong and to blame the child or the parents. One paediatrician even suggested I had caused my son's illness. According to her, I'd undermined his confidence in his own body. Others have confidently promised that he will get well, and then walked away never to return. No advice has ever been given about a wheelchair, even though we had a child that could not walk. We were just sent home with a telling off. I have been shocked at the way we've been treated and surprised at the way doctors think they can talk to people, especially children. There are many times I wished we'd never set foot inside the Bristol Children's Hospital, but there's not a lot of choice when your child is really sick. The good thing is that some professionals have been lovely and kind, and I'm pleased that they've stuck with us. I have learnt to stand up to or refuse to see the people who are not helpful. I have learnt not to care if I'm labelled as a difficult parent. I have learnt that the drugs don't necessarily work and that pain doesn't always go away. I have learnt lots of lessons that I never hoped to learn. Inside the Children's Hospital, I have also learnt that there are people dealing with far more difficult situations than ours.